At first glance, Ode to Winning just appears to be a poem about Charlie Sheen and what his antics have eventually caused him with this whole like #winning thing, but it goes a lot deeper than just Twitter or Charlie Sheen. It goes to the point of what is winning in life. Like, is Charlie Sheen's example of winning just having sex with beautiful women and then making a fortune while doing it and drinking liquor? Or is there something deeper? Like, as we get older, it becomes more apparent, like, how am I going to be a successful person, and what is the definition of that? Because I don't know if the definition of that is someone who serves their country in war and grows up and has a family with children and everything, but at the same time not knowing what it means to truly be successful in life, to ascend to the next step when you do pass away. It's such shaky ground that I feel like it sort of, in a way, just gives humanity a purpose to keep going and why the world is so unique. My most significant moment of all throughout high school is not going to be the day I graduated, nor is it going to be the day that I found out I got to college I'll be attending. It's going to be December 11th, 2010, and the night we lost the state championship to Nassau at Convention Stadium, which is UConn's field. And it's so hard to just remember, go back to that time and just remember what it was like. I just remember the feeling of at halftime, being down 3 points, thinking, all right, we got this. Like, there's no way we're so amped up. We have all the momentum going into the second half. And then just looking at the scoreboard the last time, 50-20. Like, what happened? How did, like, I just remember feeling like the world was crashing down. Like, we were supposed to come in here, upset this team that has blown through everyone just easily, continue the tradition of the 5-peat state championship, and it just didn't happen. And although this was definitely one of the toughest moments of my life, it's just like, it's just something that I'm always going to remember, and it's not just a negative moment. It's bittersweet in a way that, like, we got this far. Like, I myself feel like I had a great season, but we just couldn't go the final step, and we just couldn't finish. And although it's incredibly hard to reflect on in the same way, it's not the worst moment ever, and it's definitely going to be a very memorable experience going forward. Flaw in the System is a slam poem that basically addresses how one can contradict someone else's beliefs and believe something themselves, and this leads to feelings of anger or resentment. And basically, religion causes so many conflicts within groups of people, whether it's back during the Middle Ages with the Crusades, or most recently, obviously, with Al-Qaeda terrorist attacks, believing that they have a justified reason for doing it. I don't understand why religion has become such a big quarrel recently. I mean, I myself am Catholic. I don't go to church that often, but I do have faith in my religion. And I feel that if someone else feels differently, I have no reason to necessarily resent them just because of their beliefs. So this slam poem basically angrily addresses why religion has become such a controversial topic, which results in so much violence and death. While working on a health presentation, I was discovering which nutrients are essential to the body, and obviously water is the most essential nutrient to the body. And I just remember thinking, like, water isn't something that I basically use to live from. It's something that I've always lived with, whether it's been lifeguarding in the summer in East Hampton, swimming in the ocean, just having a good time. Just so many ups and downs that occurred in the water, whether it was taking my ocean lifeguard test or my first lifeguard save, which was a big deal for me. I feel like that's one of my most personal achievements, accomplishments. And also there's a time when going down to Naugatuck to play the Naugatuck Tequila football game, the river there was just incredibly polluted and gross, and it just sort of reflected the town, I felt like, on that cold Tuesday, rainy night, in which we ended up playing in the mud. So that was just sort of a wake-up call as to this is what some of the world looks like, and you just have to get used to it. These people are trying their best to work with what they have, and this river sort of just represents their sorrows. my last example is river rafting, and one of my best friends, River. Just remembering that day is one of the days I'll remember for the rest of my life, because I know there's just those days where you look back and say, wow, that was so much fun. And we just river rafted basically like 3 miles from point A to point B, and it was a blast. And basically in this 90+ line poem, I explain how water has been such a part of my life, and that not just a nutrient. In fact, it's one of the reasons I basically make up who I am. It's been a fun semester, and although I feel as if I've learned a lot about poetry, I think I've had a good time and managed to do all the work, so I think it has been a successful semester. I would say that poetry to me is about capturing a moment and just making the emotions from that moment come out, jump off the paper and appeal to the reader. Basically what I've done with my poetry is write about things that I'll want to look back on and just remember, wow, like I did that, or I did this is how I felt when that happened. And just the ups and downs that are captured in it. I believe everything pertaining to poetry is about emotion, whether it's reading it aloud. You have to basically demonstrate to your audience what you're talking about, why you're talking about it, and it basically explain the driving force which is behind you all the way, every step of it. And I think it's been a lot of fun going on nature walks and basically just treating poetry as a stop sign on your way to the greater good, which is graduating high school. And it's been a good way to reflect on my 4 years here. I think I've had a great time, and I'm glad that I've done it with people I've done it with. So all in all, I'd say it's been a successful journey.